Welcome back, everybody, to Rock Resurgence Radio. My name is Chad, the host.
And I'm your co-host, Bergy.
Hey, on today's show, we have a special guest. His name is Hopper. He's got the Hops Metal Show on YouTube. I'll let him introduce himself and plug his where you can find him and all that stuff.
Alrighty, this is Hop. As you've been told, I have a co-host. We call him String, and then other guests. But you can find me on Hops Metal Show on YouTube. And I'm also on Facebook. I have a group called Hops Metal Show. And you can go on there and do polls and talk about bands, and other fans talk about bands with other fans. That was quite a mouthful.
Yeah. Well, like we stick to mostly the hair metal and stuff like that, but you do newer stuff as well, right?
Oh, yeah. We do all kinds of stuff. Japan. We're all over the world, too, as far as people that are watching us. A lot of people, when they leave comments, said, I don't even know what they're even saying because it's a different language.
Google Translate.
Google Translate, yep. Well, that's really cool. We're happy to have you on. And on today's show, we're going to discuss another one of our favorite bands. Okay, did you have something to say, buddy?
No. I just thanks for having me. Y'all do a good job. Appreciate everything y'all do.
Thank you. It is our pleasure to have you. Like I was saying, on today's show, we're going to talk about a band. We're going to give a top 10 songs, each of us 1 through 10 of Mötley Crüe songs. Big band. We all love them. Mötley Crüe is and will always be one of my favorite bands. Even though, their newer stuff I don't really care for, but yeah, there is if you do the
double horns.
Yeah, if you do double horns, then it does that cool thing.
Hey, before we get off this,
go ahead.
The horns. There's a guy out there. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but he claims if you point the horns towards the screen, you're bringing the evil inside.
Oh man!
You got to point it to the sky. That's what he says on his show. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there's any truth to it. That's what he says. So.
Yeah. And, there's been so much made of that sign and all that stuff. So whatever, 666.
The metal horns.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about Mötley Crüe. I think it's one of all of our favorite bands, and it should be a pretty entertaining show, we hope. And without further ado, I think we'll start again with Hopper and let him go first with his number 10.
All right, so I actually have 12, but I'm going to save the last two for honorable mentions.
Okay.
So we're going with a really deep track for number 10. Keep Your Eye on the Money off Theater Pain.
That's a good song. That's an album that doesn't get a whole lot of love.
It does not, for sure.
And I didn't love it when it first came out because I thought they wimped out. But, it's got some filler on it, but it's still a good album.
I do have only one song from that album, and that would probably, the one you just picked is definitely an honorable mention of mine.
Cool.
Yeah. So anything more you want to say about Keep Your Money?
And why that's not why, it's not one of their big songs, any particular reason why you like that song so much, or?
Well, it's just one of them songs. Well, Theater Pain was actually my intro into Mötley.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a bigger brother, so I didn't have nobody to teach me where all this music was at. I just had to find it, explore on my own.
Yeah, me too. I had a neighbor.
Theater Pain was was definitely my first go-to album, and Smoke in the Boys Room just hasn't aged as well, even for a hit off that album. So Keep Your Eye on the Money is probably my second favorite track off that album.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yes, I like that song, and I'm thinking I'm singing it in my head.
Right now. There's a couple others on there too that I like.
Yeah, me too.
Louder Than
Hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was on a horror movie, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was.
I know there's a version on the like the deluxe version or whatever with that it's Hotter Than Hell.
Yeah.
Really? Kiss had the album.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. So I don't know if they just decided they'd go louder than hell, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
I was
don't
on a horror movie or something, but very, very likely.
My wife would know because she likes horror movies. I'm not
Yeah.
a big horror movie guy.
Yeah, I couldn't get my wife to watch a horror movie with me to save my life.
That's the same way with me. Yeah.
You don't
It's
like
not
it?
happening here.
Yeah.
So on to my 10.
You're number 10.
My number 10 is this song had to make the list. It is Toast of the Town, which wasn't
Oh,
really
yeah.
on an album necessarily. It was they're actually their first single, but actually the B side, Stick to Your Guns, they put out
That
on
was
the
their first.
Leather Records. And it was actually released on my 10th birthday, May 3rd, 1981. But I didn't really become aware of this song for probably another 8 years when it was covered by Pretty Boy Floyd.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say that's the first time I heard it was when Pretty Boy Floyd did.
Yeah, and I can't remember if I was reading through the liner notes and
Seen that it was written.
it was written by Nikki Sixx or whoever, and you did a little digging and or read about it in a magazine because there still was no internet at that time.
No, I knew about Stick to Your Guns, but I didn't know about Toast to Your Town because I got in an argument with a guy and I think I told this story, but he was claiming that whatever was their first single. I said, no, it was Stick to Your Guns. And he goes, no, it wasn't. I seen him the next time at that party and I rubbed it in his face. Brought him a little something. I don't remember how I proved it, but I did. And
yeah, it was actually the B side to the single Stick to Your Guns.
Yeah.
But
and it is a very good song.
That's my number 10.
No, that's a deep track.
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, yes, for sure. I guess it's deep track since it wasn't
really
on.
is. Yeah.
I'm sure it was released on some greatest hits type stuff, right? Red, White, and Crüe. I'm pretty sure it's on that.
Okay. Yeah. I had that, but I don't. Fuck. It's been a long time since I listened to that. But okay, you cool with yours?
I'm cool with my number 10.
All right, good. I didn't even think of that song. So, my number 10 is off of Theater of Pain. I happen to have a Theater of Pain. If anybody can see that, I don't know if you can see it.
Nice.
Well, it's behind my mic.
Move that mic.
See it? I got the
Sweet.
faces there. And the reason I went with it's not because that's my favorite album. It's because it has the coolest album cover and it would make it the best tattoo.
Yeah.
That's why I went with that. I mean, Dr. Feelgood's pretty cool too, but I just thought those faces were cool and I wanted a Mötley Crüe tattoo because I said, like I told you guys before, they're one of my favorites of all time. So, anywho, mine is Home Sweet Home. It's to my knowledge or to my thinking, it's probably one of the first power ballads, and it started off what I considered good category, which is power ballads, because I like a lot of power ballads. And this is just a really, really good song. And if you've ever seen him live and Tommy doing it, it's pretty fucking cool. I mean, I think on the final tour, was it the final tour where he was way out over the crowd and did it? Or was that a different one?
It could be. I actually just saw him at the state fair, and this song, when they played this, was a really good moment, even to this day.
Yeah, and it holds up.
Yeah.
It's just one of those songs.
It's aged very well.
It's aged really well, and it was a well-written song. It's a very good song. It's about coming home off the road, I think, and how long and tedious the road can be, and I don't know that, but I mean how I can imagine. So I just think it's a great song, and that's my number 10.
Beautiful.
Speaking of that, I'll give you a little trivia if you didn't know this. When Limp Bizkit come out with the video for Faith, that's what they based that video off of, was Home Sweet Home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that they always thought that was such a cool video. If you go back and watch the video to Faith, you kind of understand what they're talking about.
Me with the videos again. I'm not I remember the Home Sweet Home video, but I don't remember the Faith video. So I'm gonna have to go check that out. That's cool. I'll check that out for sure.
So we're on to number 9 and Hopper.
All right. So number 9, and it's probably going to be not the only song, but y'all was talking about how great the '94 Crüe album is.
Oh yeah. And
I just think it's that album has aged very well.
Very well. I think it's aged better than any of their albums. It really stands up
Yeah.
I listened to it in my stereo today on the way here. Oh, god damn, it sounds
Chad
good.
really loves that album.
I love it.
I don't.
Well, as far as Krabby, we was talking about earlier, bands anything they touch is powerful. And I think anything Krabby's involved in
Absolutely.
is good.
Yeah. The new Daisy stuff is
Great.
awesome. It's so good.
It's one of the best albums come out last year, I thought.
I think so too. Yeah. I actually did a poll on Sleaze Rocks or whatever, and that was on one of my top 5.
You submitted your top albums of the year.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I need to go on to do that. I just reminded me. But did I say what song it was? It was Drift Away, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's a good song.
94. Yeah.
Yep. So, yep, good. And I'll mention it later, but yeah, what I like to say about this 94 album, and I don't want to dwell on it too much because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like this album. They don't think it's a Crüe album because Vince Neil's not on it. Chris being one of them. So do you think the new stuff that they're putting out is Crüe because Mick Mars isn't on it?
No, I don't really care. I don't know.
That's just an honest question.
Yeah, I can't. It's not. I'm not like your guy that you said was, kind of you and him argued about. You're not really a fan then. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent to a certain point about it, but
it's 100% sounds different.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, when they put out that song?
Logan's Holiday?
No, I'm talking about the new, like the latest John 5 Crüe. Not
Canceled.
that one. It was the first one they kind of did.
I know.
And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is this? I mean, I'm serious. Like,
I know. I don't get it either. I fucking hate it.
And so I know Robbie, my cousin, he's probably the one subscriber or two of the subscribers that watch probably every show.
Yep.
He's going to kill me for saying this, but when we went and saw him, he was with me at the fair and they played that song. I can't think of the damn song now, but anyway,
I'm gonna look it up,
they played it and I'm looking over at him and he's singing along and I'm like, I fucking hate this. I hate it. Like, this sucks. This is the time. And I'm stupid. I shouldn't do this. And I definitely didn't do this obviously back in the day, but when I go to a show, I look to see what their set list is. What did they play last night at
Dogs of War
in Gillette, Wyoming, or wherever they played the night before? Yeah. Dogs of War.
Yeah.
It's garbage to me. I can't stand it.
I can't either.
I probably should just shut up and quit talking about it because we're doing the top 10 Mötley Crüe songs, not the bottom 10.
Yeah.
I'm watching him sing along, and I look at the set list, and I'm like, okay, this is when I'm going to the bathroom, or getting another beer or whatever.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's time to go get another beer when they play Dogs of War.
Yeah.
So,
but where I'm going with this is, if you put a different name on this, say
94
Nasty,
we're talking about.
if we put a different name on the Mötley Crüe album, 94 album, if you put Nasty Habits on there, and that came out and you heard it, would you like it better? Probably, if it didn't say Mötley Crüe on it.
Probably, yeah. If it was the Scream second album or something.
I think that's the big problem with it. Is it says Mötley Crüe and people don't think it's Mötley Crüe without Vince Neil. Well, I think it's fucking awesome. I never did, except for the first 2 albums, never really liked Vince Neil's voice. It's not gritty enough. It doesn't have enough power to me. Like on Shout at the Devil, it sounded really, really good. That was the best I think his voice has ever sounded. And, it just got kind of lighter as it went on. And that's my big thing with Mötley Crüe. I mean, I love them. I love all their music, and I grew up with it, and I listened to every freaking album, and blah, blah, blah. But I just think that 94 album just did something different, and it just hit different, and it still holds up today. It's heavy. It just, that might be another reason for you and I liking it, Hopper, is because we enjoy heavier shit too. I know Chris likes Megadeth, which really surprised me. And I know he likes some Metallica, but I like Pantera, and I like Parkway Drive, and I like shit like that, and Blacktop Mojo's older stuff, and it's just a little heavier stuff. So, and that might be something to do with it too, that people don't like that album as much too.
You feel like it was heavier?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Definitely.
I think the first thing was right. I think it's not Vince, so it's not the Crüe.
Yeah.
Because they're they are such four big personalities.
They are. They are, and you know, and they're so well known, and they were so big.
5 years prior.
And yeah, 5 years prior on Dr. Feelgood, they were biggest band in the world. So I think not having Vince probably, I understand it. I just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, the musicianship, I think John took them to a whole nother level that Vince couldn't do musicianship wise. Because first of all, he could play guitar, and his voice was a whole different range than Vince's was.
100%. And if you look at the lyrics are way better. I mean,
yeah.
And if you look, I looked at this today or yesterday when I was doing this. If you scroll to the bottom in Apple Music, it always lists the main songwriter first, and John Corabi was the main songwriter on every one of them. So his writing, I think, is a little better. Like even if you listen to the Scream, we listen to the Scream. Yep. You like Father, Mother, Son, just really, really good lyrics. And he's just a little deeper lyric wise than Nikki Sixx. Not saying Nikki Sixx is bad, but
they're just completely different writers.
Yeah. It's just a little more substance. Whereas, you typically think of Mötley Crüe and you think of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? Yeah, and that's kind of what they sing about. And this is a little different.
Different for sure. And I definitely agree with you. I think if it was just a different name of a band, I would have picked it up and been, have you heard these guys? They're pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not Mötley Crüe to me, just to me.
Okay. I'm sorry to ramble on about them, but that's just, it just bugs me sometimes. Anyways, your number 9.
My number 9 is my only representation from the Saints of Los Angeles album. Came out in 2008. The name of the song is Down at the Whiskey. The song has a nostalgic feel, which I love more the older I get. That some of the lyrics, LA girls, they paid the rent while we got drunk on Sunset Strip. And all the cash they made, we spent on tattoos and cigarettes. Do you remember when? We were on the run, got loaded like a shotgun, living out our dreams down at the whiskey. So it's a homage to them playing shows at the whiskey, on Sunset Strip. And it's just a good song.
You know what? That is a good song. And I got to listen to that album a little more. I'm bad at that. When I go back to listen to Mötley Crüe, it's the first one, the second one, and 94. That's pretty much what I listen to.
Yeah.
And I don't listen to the others near as much. There's I like Motherfucker of the Year. I like Saints of Los Angeles. Yeah. I like those songs. Unfortunately, I don't think any of those made my list.
Right.
But it's just Mötley Crüe is another one of those ones where they had a lot of good songs on the first 5 albums.
Oh, no doubt.
So it was really hard for me to even venture into New Tattoo and Saints of Los Angeles for any picks.
Fair. Yep, that's fair.
Yep.
Well, you got it, 9.
I got Starry Eyes off the first album. I really, really, I tried to limit it to only a couple picks off of the albums. I didn't want to. So I mean,
there's a shout at the Devil Love Fest or something.
No. So there's a couple songs on my list that probably I wouldn't have put on, but except for that rule where I didn't want really more than 2 off of any certain album. So and I could have picked 4 or 5 off the first album, 4 or 5 off the second album.
And then you'd be done.
Then I'd be done. So, because they really, and I would have thrown a couple off of 94 in there, but Starry Eyes is just a great, great song. I'd read you some of the lyrics, but they're not, in their first album.
They're poetry.
They're not poetry. And there's like one verse, chorus, another small verse, and then it's just repeat the chorus 500 times. That's kind of the Mötley Crüe thing back in the day. But it sounded fucking awesome, and it still is awesome if you listen to it. So that's my pick. Your number 8, Papa.
All right, so for number 8, I got another one off the 94 album. Nice. This will be Hooligan's Holiday.
Cool. Yep, that I had a hard time with that album. I said I had to limit it to 2, and that one was an honorable mention for me.
That's the only one that I really super familiar with, of course, which makes sense because it was a single and probably on their greatest hits or whatever. But
But to be honest with you, I don't know if y'all are fans of Exposed, Vince's solo album.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I haven't listened to it in years.
Yeah, that's the way with me. But when it first came out, I probably liked it more than I did the '94 Crew. But it's the '94 Crew album grew on me, and it still grows on me to this day. Exposed was kind of like a stamp in time.
Yep, it was very similar to Mötley Crüe stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that the one that you're invited but your friends can't come?
yeah,
Yep, that was a good. That was his first one, right?
yeah. The
So
second one wasn't so much,
yeah,
but Stevie Stevens' guitar work on there is phenomenal too.
he was fucking amazing. He's another guy that gets no respect.
Yeah,
Because he plays with Billy Idol for one, you know. But yeah, and Billy Idol's not known for big, huge guitar stuff.
Right.
So, okay, you're number 8.
Is it my turn? Number 8. So this is where I got. Chad already picked this song, "Home Sweet Home," 1985, and he'd mentioned some things about it being maybe the first power ballad, and there are definitely ballads before this, but in some ways this was like the first hair metal ballad.
Yeah.
It definitely paved the way for hair bands to make sure they had a ballad as a single.
Yeah.
I remember this being huge on MTV, and it was probably around the time that I got it. We talked in our previous week's episode about the Rat episode. I think we talked about, maybe it was just when we were chit-chatting about
Yeah, it could be.
satellite dish in the backyard and whatever.
Yeah.
But so around 85, I started watching this on MTV. But anyway, video was so popular that MTV had to change their rules. It was on a show, and I don't know if it later became Total Request Live or whatever, but it was, you called in and you voted for your top 10 or whatever. I mean, it might have just been called the top 10 or something.
Was that the Hard 30?
No, it was a request. Called in your requests, and they did a countdown. So
it's still TRL then.
Yeah, it might have been Total Request Live, but they had to change their rules because this song was just on there for so long. Like they created the unwritten rule called the Crüe rule that limited videos to 30 days on the request line after they premiered. So
that is fucking cool. Never knew that.
So Home
Good
Sweet
tidbit.
Home. Yep.
Nice. Nice.
My number 8. We're on to Chad.
Number 8 for me is a little song called "Till Death Do Us Part" off the 1994 album. And let me see. I thought there was some lyrics.
Getting a lot of love here.
This song, when I was reading the lyrics, it kind of about being in a band, I think. And you're going to live this life until death do us part. The music industry basically is what he was writing about. And he's talking about sticking to his guns, and he's going to be the same guy until death do us part, or be in the music industry. And it's just a cool song. I've lived a few mistakes, and I stand by them. Ooh, it's me, myself, and until death do us part. Just part of the lyrics. And then, hey, if you want to criticize, then you can't believe anything you read. What you see is all of me. Yeah, I've talked the talk, I've walked the walk. Who thought I'd live this long? Oh, life's been hard like a switchblade. Blind faith, suicide. And it's basically talking about his life and music. And it's a really cool fucking song. And I just love John Corabi's voice. Is just like just a really great rock voice. I mean, he's done the Scream, he's done Motley, he had a thing called the Union. Now he's in Dead Daisies, and it's all good. It's all good stuff. He writes really good music. So that's my number 8. Your number?
Got the love for the Crüe album, '94 Crüe album.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I actually had to adjust my list a little bit. So my actual number 7 is "Shout the Devil," the song "Shout the Devil," off the album "Shout the Devil."
Self, that is a great pick. You know what?
Yeah. Hard to go wrong with that one.
I know. I mean, that is my introduction to Mötley Crüe, and that was our first episode. Was
Yeah.
that our first episode?
Yeah.
What got us into this music? And mine was Shout at the Devil.
Yeah.
A neighbor of mine showed me that album, and it's my life forever changed. And we got Mr. Berglof with the vinyl right
my
here.
daughter bought this for me.
It is just a classic album. It's right up there with the top with all of them, with all the classics.
Now, if I understand right, is that the first U.S. tour Mötley did? Was on that album, Shout the Devil? Like, did they tour? I don't think they toured the United States on Too Fast for Love.
I think you're
I think that is correct.
correct.
Matter of fact,
I remember watching some like documentary about him playing some shows in like Vancouver or somewhere
Yeah, a Canadian run.
on that.
first one.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you never hear anything.
but
about
it was probably a lot of Sunset Strip bars, like the Whiskey we talked
Yeah.
about in the song, and the you
Yep.
know, Troubadour and
Troubadour and
whatever the country club was called.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just called the country club.
yeah, I remember that club too. What was I going to say? Yeah, like even if you look on YouTube, you know, the big one that comes up is the Us Festival or whatever in
Yeah.
'83.
Yeah.
Kind of the earliest footage of them on being live and stuff, and
Yeah.
that was a really cool video, and they sounded great on that.
Yeah, it was a
Even
big
for that
deal.
year, it was really sounded pretty good.
Mhm.
I was like, shit.
Well, good pick. That was
Good
your
pick.
number 7
8.
we're on, right? No,
8.
Yeah.
Oh
Number
no,
7.
number 7.
Yeah, we're on
correct.
7.
Yep. Sorry.
On to me?
Yep.
Well, my number 7 is from 1987, Girls, Girls, Girls. This was the first album after Theater of Pain and pretty much their third change in wardrobe look. You know, they started out with the
Leather.
the Shout at the Devil look,
Spikes.
and then they went to the Home Sweet, or it's not Home Sweet Home, maybe in that video too, but like I can see smoking in the boys' room and a lot of pink.
A lot of pink and white. and,
white gloves and that kind of glammy look.
Mhm.
And then by Girls, 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 now they're bikers all of a sudden, which, whatever. So this is the biker phase. Album kind of gets a bad rep. I don't know for sure. I mean, to me, there is some shit on it. Nona and You're All I Need, even though we were just talking about this Hair Metal Guru episode. I think the younger gal picked You're All I Need for one of her ballads, but I'm not a big fan of that song. Anyway, the rest of it for me is pretty solid. And I got to mention the Dancing Girls. Chad mentioned
Nasty Habits.
Yeah, the Nasty Habits. And Chad, in one of our other episodes, that was his first band's name, Nasty Habits.
Yeah.
And we deduced that his band came out before the Dancing Girls. So Vicky and Vince and the boys owe Chad some dough.
Yeah.
For
They
sure.
owe you some money.
Yeah, some residuals for sure.
Yes, sir.
That's my number 7. Moving on to Chad's number 7.
All right, before you do that, I'll give you a little trivia
Okay.
about we're talking about John Crabby still. I heard an interview of him the other day that was the only Crüe song he refused to do.
Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah, Nikki said we got to do it. It's one of our biggest songs, and Tommy was like, "It's only one song. We can do without that song." Because John, I don't know if he thought it was a cheesy song. He never did really come right out and say, but he did make a comment too that Vince sings that he couldn't sing it like Vince could sing it. That it was something about an octave.
Yeah.
And he just didn't want to do it, which I didn't know that. Thought that was interesting because it is a big song by them.
That is a cool piece of trivia for sure.
Yeah.
And it maybe even makes John sound like he was leaving that one for Vince or whatever. And I think the intent was he was to stay in the band and they were to keep recording or whatever.
Yeah,
Something happened.
I thought he was going to be a permanent replacement, but I think the fan uproar basically wanting.
Oh, sure,
back.
yeah.
I think that's what
it didn't sell
it
really well.
Didn't sell well, and everybody, all the the name.
Well, they like that money.
Yeah.
I do remember back then that album getting like good reviews.
Yeah.
In magazines that I read, like Metal Edge and Circus and things like that. I think I could be way.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember them hard on the album at all. And you hear people talk about it. It's a love-hate thing, though. There's no in between. Either you love it or you hate it.
It is that way. It's kind of like Nickelback. I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
Either you love them or you hate them, and I think they're really good shit.
Well, I always say my thing with Nickelback, I always told my son was, how can you sell millions and millions of albums and nobody likes you?
Yeah.
No kidding.
There's some bullshit.
Yeah, and I've been to several of their concerts, and they're never not packed.
They're not empty.
Yeah.
So,
I don't like Nickelback. You like Nickelback.
Yeah.
Bunch of guys.
It's just a bunch of guys. Yeah, like, yeah, I wasn't there. I saw you there.
Don't tell anybody else.
So, my number 7 is Off Girls, Girls, Girls. You just mentioned this, and you said you didn't like it, but mine is You're All I Need. And the reason I like this song is the lyrical content.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The blade of my knife placed away from your heart.
Yep. No, it's basically to me what it reads is his girl wanted to leave and he wasn't gonna let her fucking leave.
Yeah.
And killed her to make him
pretty dark.
Yeah, it's really dark. That's what I like about it. I'll read you the second verse. The first verse is pretty cool too, but this basically laid out cold. Now we're both alone, but killing you helped me keep you at home. I guess it was bad because love can be sad, but we finally made the news. Tied up smiling, I thought you were happy. Never opened your eyes, I thought you were napping. I got so much to learn about love in this world, but we finally made the news. And he basically kills his girlfriend to make him or her his forever. So she's not going to be with somebody else.
Yeah.
She's all he needs. So I just think the lyrical content on that one, I just like, like I was saying, if you look back at like You Fast for Love and Shout the Devil, the lyrics are pretty not real substantial except for the one song on Shout. Never mind. There's a couple of songs off those albums that are pretty good, but that have good lyrics.
Yeah, I'm going to mention some lyrics on the first album, but
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's why I like this. And I, like I said, I didn't want to pick a whole bunch of like this probably wouldn't make my top 10 if I were to pick my actual top 10. Like if I were to pick because I like a lot off Shout.
Well, it'll change on a daily or a weekly basis as you think about things.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but
what mood you're in when you pick your top 10 is.
Well, yeah, and I sat down and I I fucking listened to these albums so many times it shouldn't have been too hard for me, but I still had to go back and listen to some of these. Like I said, I typically go back to the first one, the second one in '94, so I had to listen to Girls, Girls, Girls and Dr. Feelgood and stuff to listen to some of the in-between songs that I just didn't, that aren't the big hits that I can't just think of off the top of my head. So, so that's where that one came in. Anyways,
moving on to Hopper, number 6.
Well, before we do number 6, have either one of y'all read The Dirt?
I have not read it.
Nope.
Supposedly, this is what Nikki said in Dirt, that You're All I Need was wrote about Jack Wagner because Jack Wagner was messing around with his girlfriend. Oh. And you remember Jack Wagner had that song, You're All I Need.
I see. All right.
I don't even know who the fuck Jack Wagner is.
Was he on General Hospital?
Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about. See, I was thinking somebody in the music industry, and yeah, I know Jack Wagner. Actor.
Well, didn't he? He had a song. I think that was the name of the song, wasn't it? You're All I Need.
Oh, I have no idea. Didn't know he was a singer.
Definitely not familiar.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Check that out for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
It's just some of that, more of that useless knowledge.
Yeah.
Trivia. We'll get you on our trivia team for sure.
Yeah, I can just, if you ever ask if you read that book, just automatically know it's a no from me. I don't read books.
Yeah, because that line wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd wait for the movie to come out.
Yeah.
No, I've read that. I read the Heroin Diaries, but I don't read either typically, but I
listen to them.
I do listen to. I have an Audible subscription or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I've listened to some too, but yeah, I don't read them. Fuck no.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Started shooting. We were talking about the Nothing But a Good Time
Movie?
TV show, the
Yeah.
documentary,
Yeah.
that book I read for sure. But
Cool.
anyway, you were going to say something, Hopper. And actually, it's your turn
Well,
for 6.
Well, I'll just agree with you. Heroin Diaries, awesome read if you've never read it. It's just hard to believe that, whether it was true or not, that, the band that we all thought was awesome was that dysfunctional during that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so my number
That one I did,
5.
actually. That's the only one I
And
fucking read in the last 30 years, I think, though. Okay, go ahead. Number 6.
Are we on number? Well, yeah, that's right. I moved up. Number 6, and my wife said, "I can't believe that ain't number 1." Is Home Sweet Home. It's kind of like Round and Round. You got to have it in there.
It made our lists for sure. That one, that's the only one so far that's made all 3, I think.
Yeah.
Of our list.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good. It definitely has to be on. Well, it is. It's on there.
And I think that song saved their career. I don't know if they would have made it through it without that song.
Yeah, that's I never even thought of that.
I didn't either, but yeah, that was a big hit for him.
Yeah,
that was huge. And that
Smoke in the Boys Room was basically a cover tune. So.
Yep.
What were you gonna say, Chad?
Shit, I don't know.
Okay.
I was gonna say. Oh, I know. What I was gonna say something about the video. That one I kind of remember was a lot of in concert video.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
And the bus on the road.
Yep. So I remember that one. Hey, one video I remember.
Yeah. Hey.
But I couldn't tell you anything about it other than that.
You can find them on YouTube.
I know.
Dad Baby Steps.
I have a premium subscription.
Yeah. You don't even got to watch the commercials.
Yep.
My number 6, actually, I can think of the video. Here we go again with the video. And Tommy Lee spinning his drum kit upside down.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. But anyway, Wild Side's probably my favorite song on that album. I know people who think it's overplayed.
What?
Well, all hits are overplayed.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it was like it was a video hit for sure, and it was probably a single. I don't think it, was top 10, top 20, maybe not even like a top 40 type song.
No.
But it's a good rocker.
It is. I like it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
the video's freaking awesome too. I mean, it's kind of just get to enter Motley's world with the whole live thing.
Yeah. See, I wished I would have seen them on that tour when they were still fucking heroined up. They were fucking nuttier than a fruitcake.
When they were dancing on glass still.
Yeah. When they did some shit and they were wild and they were crazy. I saw them on Dr. Feelgood where they sobered up. I mean, still good. I saw them up in Winnipeg. And then my wife and I saw them, what was it, 30? Did we come up with 30 or 20? 20-year anniversary that they did the whole album?
It was.
At the fair?
Yeah, it was the 20th. I think
20th.
we figured it.
Yeah, because 89, 99, 2009.
It was 2009.
So my wife and I, well, she wasn't my wife at the time. We had dated in high school and we weren't dating at this time, but a bunch of us went up to this show and we all met up there. And so we went to the Dr. Feelgood show up there, and then 20 years later, we were married and went to the 2009 show at the fair.
Yeah, and they played the
whole entire
album.
Yep, they played the whole album.
Yeah, it was good. That was one of my favorite shows that I've seen with them in it.
That was good.
And speaking of Nickelback, no, it was Theory of a Dead Man, I think, opened for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're good too.
That was Crew Fest too, wasn't it?
Well, for us, it was they played at our state fair.
All right. Because I saw them with Theory of Dead Man. I saw them with 6 a.m. too. I think that was the show. 6 a.m. was freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were really good.
Yeah.
I saw them too. Yeah.
Was DJ Ashba, the guitarist?
Yeah.
He is so good. Yeah.
Anyway, and that Michael, Thomas or whatever that was singing, his voice was incredible too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw him in Bismarck and I can't think of who the hell. Oh, they opened up for Shinedown.
Oh, they're an incredible band. I wouldn't want Shinedown's incredible live.
Yeah, they're right up there because we're getting off topic. We do this so much.
That's the way we are. Rambling will kill us.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, Shinedown, if you've never seen them, man, get out there and see them. Boy, they're good. They're really, really good. Whose turn is it?
I just did number 6, I think, with Wild Side, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 6.
My number 6. My number 6. We're going back to 1981, and we're going on with the show.
Cool.
This is the one I was telling you about that has really good lyrics. Are you going to do lyrics off this one?
I'm not going to do lyrics off this one, but it did make my list.
Oh,
It did. I love it.
yeah.
Glad the song of yours.
I mean, it's really only one verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read. It just starts off, Frankie died just the other night. Some say it was suicide, but we know how the story goes. With his 6-string knife and his sweet, wise pride, the boy was a man before his time, and she knew. And then I could read the whole thing, but I don't want to. It's a really, really good song.
Yeah, it has a lot of different changes.
Yeah.
Of pace and
You know what? This is why I'll tell you, the way Mick plays guitar on this album is probably one of my favorites for guitar playing from Mick, because he does a lot of this. I don't know how else to explaining picking. Instead of like you would strum a chord, he picks it out.
Yeah.
And he does it in like, normally you do it in acoustic, and he does it in electric, and it sounds really cool. So that's why I like this album so much. It's just a really cool sounding album. If I don't know how else to explain it.
that's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah, it's just different guitar work than he did on any other album, and I really like it, and it really hits. And it may not be just and he does some really fucking fast stuff like on Too Fast for Love, but he does a lot of this kind of slower.
Yeah.
With the picking, and I just love it.
Like
so
mid-tempo kind of thing.
Yep. So that is my pick for number 6.
And we're on 5.
Yeah.
And Hopper.
So, and you're talking about Too Fast for Love, which is my next song's off that album. But the thing I like about Too Fast for Love, I love the Leather Records version. I don't know if either one of y'all have heard that.
Yeah, I think that was the one I had originally on cassette.
But you can, it's like he was saying, you can hear the energy, the rawness and the energy.
Yep.
And that makes the album that much greater, I think, when you get albums that capture that.
I fold my hands and it gives us this little thumbs down signal all the time when people are.
Well, I know, and I was wondering what that was all about.
Fuck that guy, he's stupid over. No.
Does everybody hate us? I didn't. I was like, I don't think we're live, but maybe we are.
Yeah, it's a goofy thing that happens, but
yeah,
raw. I was actually. When I get to my turn, I was saving that word for my brain for my next.
Yeah,
pick.
Raw is a good. Yep.
But my pick off that album is Livewire. You got to have that on your countdown.
Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to, but it might be on mine.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is. I didn't realize it, but it's a staple live song. I mean, you got to hear that when you go see the Crüe. I mean, it's just one of them songs. That's their. I mean, I know Home Sweet Home's their big one, but Livewire's up in there too. I mean, it's just a staple Crüe song.
Time live.
It's just a jammer. It's a rocker. It's a good way to start the album.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I love that we're getting into this album now because my number 5. If you're done, Hopper, I don't want to step on your.
Yeah, I'm good.
My number 5 is on that album too, and Chad just took it from me. He just stole it. That fucker. On with the show. Yeah. I'm just gonna thumb through and make sure. I do have other things, and I could definitely have some honorable mentions from that album too. But this is my if you don't count Toast of the Town, this is my first pick on with the show from this album. And Hopper nailed it. Chad was pretty much trying to get to it, but raw is a good word for it. And Livewire that you just picked, that's the perfect word for it. Raw energy. Like that's where they kicked us in the teeth.
And just kept on going.
Yeah, and just kept on going for sure.
For the whole album.
Now, when I saw these boys at the fair that we were just talking about, they played this song, and I'd love to see that shit. I'd love to see some deep tracks that they probably haven't played for a while or whatever.
Exactly.
But, and so I was really happy that they did that. And I love this album so much, I could have probably picked any song from it.
I know. I struggled with this one.
Yeah, you had Starry Eyes, I think.
I had Starry Eyes.
We've heard Live Wire. We've heard On With The Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those albums that it's just really hard to pick just one or two.
Yeah, because I like every song on this album.
I do.
Just like I like every song on Shout at the Devil.
If I had,
one exception.
if there was one song that gets a little on my nerves, is Merry Go Round, because it just keeps going.
Yeah,
going,
I still.
going.
Yes,
but I still like
that.
it. I like the music.
But yeah, it's still a great song.
Still a great song, but it gets a little much with the Merry Go Round and Round part. You done?
I am done. We'll move on to your number. We're on 5, right?
5.
Oh, there's thumbs up. Okay.
Thumbs up. Anyways, number 5 for me, we're gonna go to Dr. Feelgood, 1989. The year Chris and I graduated, and I'm guessing you graduated the same year too.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Great year.
Great year. And we're gonna go with Kickstart My Heart. How can you not pick this song? This is a fucking jammer.
Yeah, it is.
It's about Nikki Sixx losing his life, overdosing, and being him brought back to life. And what was it in that? Was that on the dirt, or was that on the fucking Nikki Sixx ain't dying in my ambulance?
That was in dirt. Yeah, that ambulance guy in the ambulance. Not on my time.
Yeah, that's fucking great. So that's why, that's off that album. That's, to me, the best song. Just because it fucking rocks.
That is for sure one of the big ones live.
And
my
next song is also off that album, and it's higher, but it was kind of a toss up between the two. But I think this one probably should be one up, and this other one should be one down. But it doesn't matter; they're both fucking awesome. So, but Kickstart My Heart, Dr. Feelgood, Nikki dies and comes back to life.
Song sold a lot of records for them.
It did.
Sold a lot of copies of Dr. Feelgood, I'm sure, even though it was a later release. I think
it was. Dr. Feelgood was by far their first release.
One off of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so now we're down to our number 4s.
Number 4s.
And Hopper is up.
All right, so while we're on, I'm just going to stay on the same album as you again, but I'm going with Dr. Feelgood off the album Dr. Feelgood.
Nice.
Another great
song. Here we're going back to, you really need to watch the videos. The video is freaking unbelievable. It's just like, I think it was supposed to be designed to be just like a mini version of the movie Scarface.
Yeah. Yep.
But the video is really cool. And the song, I think when I read about this song also, Nicky said it was like one of the hardest songs he had ever wrote. He said the chorus wasn't that bad, but he said coming up with verses. And if you sing that song, it is some pretty tricky songwriting. I thought some of his good songwriting.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely really good lyrics.
It's funny talking about it. I just, for whatever, this image popped into my head of Vince struggling through this song.
Yeah, it's kind of a rapid fire.
Yeah, it would be a really hard song to sing, and then you put Vince when he was. I think he's lost some weight since seeing him last, but there's it's practically a meme, or maybe it is, where he's singing the songs and they're making up funny lyrics to what he's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like bad lip reading.
Yes, exactly. Yep. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that is funny.
But good pick.
Yep. And if you just think about, right off the top of my head, Rat Tail Jimmy's Secondhand Hood deals in Hollywood, because that's
hard to say. It's a tongue twister, kind of.
65 Chevy Primered Flames, traded for some powdered goods.
Yeah. And we've all seen Vince fuck that up.
No doubt. Yeah. Well, yeah, we all could fuck that up too.
we could, but when you've had the song for 30 years, you should be able to get the fucking lyrics right.
Yeah. Well, you
should at least practice them.
And he does a lot of this now. And we talked about this, in our episode, that they have a lot of gang vocals songs or sing-along songs, and he's pointing the mic out to the crowd and letting them sing so I can catch my fucking breath. I remember when we went saw him on it was the final, I guess one of the final, I saw two of them on the final tour, but I know they was doing Home Sweet Home, and
I told me and my wife was sitting up in the lawn, and I looked at her and I told her I'd had a couple drinks, and she said, I told her, I said, damn, Vince don't sound too bad on this song. She said, that's because it's Tommy, you dumbass. You quit drinking.
That's
But
funny.
you know it's bad when Tommy's got the better voice of the band now. And he's the drummer.
Yeah. Funny shit. Okay. Andy.
I got to quit doing this with my hands. Somehow when I fold my hands, it gives us the thumbs down little
Oh, yeah.
emoji. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to quit doing that. And it's on to me.
I think so.
We're on number
4.
4. It's funny how we've done it. You know, seems like we got on a little looks or
Tangent.
yeah, Too Fast for Love
Kick.
train or whatever. Yeah,
Now
Kick. And now I'm going to stick with the Dr. Feelgood theme a little bit.
Okay.
And my number 4 is a different song off of that album, Same Old Situation. So this is my first song off of the Dr. Feelgood album, and believe it or not, it's my only pick from this album.
Wow.
That album. And I love Dr. Feelgood, and I love Kickstart My Heart. Both honorable mention songs.
Don't Go Away Mad.
Don't Go Away Mad, I do love that too. Should have had some honorable, definitely going to have some honorable mentions from me from that album. Groove of this song makes it my favorite. The album went 6 times platinum. It definitely has bigger hits for sure. This actually did go to number 34 on the chart. And I just love the song and the story and the fun of it. And, I love seeing them play it live.
Yeah.
My number 4, Same Old Situation.
Well, my number 4 is also after Dr. Feelgood, and I just mentioned that Kickstart My Heart and they could interchange as numbers, and it is Same Old Situation.
Wow.
I love it's just a good jamming song. It's catchy. It's the same old.
Yeah, it's got a
same
good
old
singing
I mean,
portion.
it's fun live. It really is a catchy song. And I forgot how catchy it was until I was listening to it yesterday. Because there are other songs like Don't Go Away Mad and Dr. Feelgood and stuff on that album. But this one kicked in and I went, that's got to go on
That's the
there.
one.
Yep, that's the one. Because I was trying to keep it to no more than 2. And so that's why I picked that. And good pick.
Thank you. You too.
All right,
We
thanks.
both had it for a number 4.
Hey, I know why y'all picked that.
Okay.
Because that's where Vince Neil showcases his guitar playing skills.
Yeah.
Ain't that the video he plays guitar in?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, I think that's Don't Go Away Mad.
Oh, is it?
Maybe. Chad doesn't watch videos, and
Yeah.
it's
very
probably
few.
been 25, 35 years since
The one video of theirs, I remember a few of theirs. Home Sweet Home, Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away,
Yeah, he might play in this one.
and Wild Side. I think Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all the way up to down
3.
to number 3.
Top 3.
Top 3 songs, and Hopper's going to get us started.
All right, so another one off Dr. Feelgood. Already been named Kickstart My Heart.
All right.
How
Yeah.
do you not?
Yeah, it's a fucking banger. It really
Yeah.
is. Just from that beginning. It's cool. I mean, what's kind of funny is I thought, hearing that beginning from Mick, I thought that is fucking original,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No, it's not.
It's off of, there's an older band. I can't remember who the fuck did it, but
Yeah.
does that?
I hear that in a few songs.
Yeah,
actually.
but before this,
You did.
this is the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
And then I heard this later, and it was off of, God, I can't remember who the hell did it. I
You
almost,
should have took a note.
I should have, but I wasn't thinking of doing a podcast then either.
Yeah.
But it was some other band that did that dive with their whammy and made it sound really cool like that. But I mean, doesn't matter. I mean, this genre, this music is one big, hey, I'm gonna borrow a little bit from that and a little bit from
Yeah.
that and a little bit from that. It's all, influences and stuff. So it's cool either way.
Yep, for sure. There I go again, folding my hands, and we got the thumbs down thing.
Jesus, Chris.
I can't
What?
say-
Hey, I think
Dude,
Kickstart My Heart's the most streamed song by the crew.
Is it?
I
That
think
wouldn't surprise me.
I wouldn't doubt that. And you guys both said, how do you not? Well, I didn't. I didn't pick it. I got it in my honorable mentions, but it's for me. The reason why it didn't make my top 10 is, I think it's just because it is like you said, probably their most played song on YouTube or whatever.
yeah.
You looked up Spotify statistics, and I know that's a good. I'm not a Spotify guy. I'm an Apple Music guy, but I love that Spotify shows the statistics.
Yeah.
Get that.
That's my go-to streaming service.
So it is probably the most streamed song, I think, was the words that you used. And maybe that's why I didn't pick it, just because it's overplayed, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a big part of their career. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's a big deal for
Number
sure.
1, Girls, Girls, Girls. Number 2, Dr. Feelgood. Number 3, Home Sweet Home. Number 4, and Shout at the Devil. Number 5. 709 million streams.
Well, that's a good segue to my number 3.
That's over double the second one, over Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane. Daily, 329,000.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
That's a lot. No, we wish we could get subscribers like that.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, my number 3 was one of those 5 that you mentioned, and my first. This song's a big deal. Shout at the Devil, 1983, off the album Shout at the Devil. This song could easily be number 1. It's an important song. It's an important album. Like you mentioned already, when we did our first podcast episode, it was I forget what we called it, but it was What Got You Into It.
Hooked. Yeah.
What got you hooked? What band got you hooked? And I had Rat, and you had this album we talked about
Mötley Crüe.
in ad nauseum, maybe is the word for it. Has to be on my top 10 list. We discussed the sing-along gang vocals as a Crüe signature, and of course this one has that in spades. And the album itself is a genre-defying masterpiece, I wrote in my notes. So I'm going to just leave it there.
God. Yeah.
It is that.
Okay.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, what do you got, Chad, for number 3?
Well, we are going to the Shout at the Devil album, which is one of my favorite albums of all time from Mötley Crüe. Probably is my favorite, if I'm honest. And we're going to go with 10 Seconds to Love. You've seen me play it on guitar, but I love the song. It's just got a cool riff. The words are they're just so sexual. I'm going to read you the first verse. This is, touch my gun, but don't pull my trigger. Let's make history in the elevator. Lock the door, shine my pistol some more. Oh, here I come, just 10 seconds more. Yeah. I mean, that,
some more.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that song too.
I know,
it didn't make my list.
Such a freaking good song. And, and I'm going to just put the fucking cat out of the bag, but I didn't fucking have Shout on my list because I like these other 2 songs on this album.
And like you said, you only picked a couple.
And I only picked a couple. If I were to pick my actual top 10, it would for sure be in my top 10.
Well, isn't this an actual top 10?
It is, but I've set those rules where I couldn't have more than 2 songs. Self-imposed rules where I couldn't have too many off one album because otherwise it would just be the fucking one album,
Fair enough.
So Shout is 100% correct what Chris said. It is a staple. It is their song. It didn't make my list. I'm sorry.
But it's still number 3 for me.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just, you know it, you love it. It has that in the beginning part that kicks into it that scared the shit out of me the first time I heard it. And it's just a fucking iconic song. Yeah. So anyways, but my song is 10 Seconds to Love, and it's a very sexual song, and it is fucking groovy, and it's cool, and I love
the beat of it.
It oozes sex, and it's got a good beat, and I just
want to bob my head just thinking about it.
So that is my number 3.
And now we're on to number 2.
Number 2.
Hopper.
Number 2 is off this album right here.
Cool.
Was Decade of Decadence.
Fuck. I forgot about that song.
Primal Scream.
Ah, damn it. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to Rain on Your Parade. God damn it, I forgot all about that song.
I
That
had
would have
that. I thought about it.
That would have been in my top 3.
Brilliant pick. Brilliant pick.
Brilliant pick.
Yeah, good to see it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome song. I mean, it's like when it's number 2, I mean, that's how much I like the song. And I'm an avid Crüe fan. And that's putting it up there with, Shout and 94 and all that stuff.
Yeah, so that came out shortly after. Like, that was kind of right after Dr. Feelgood, right? The Decade of Decadence.
Yeah.
Which it only had a couple new songs on it, that one. And there was...
and was Angela.
Was there 3? 3 new songs? I feel like there's one other one.
Anarchy UK.
Oh, yeah. Another cover that seems like what they're doing nowadays, I guess. But
yeah. God, I can't believe I forgot about that one. I told myself, I said, Self, when you do your Mötley Crüe list, don't forget about fucking Primal Scream. Because I just love it. I just love that bass. Nicky said, whether he's playing it or not, I don't know. But it's pretty bass line, so he probably is.
Yeah.
But it just sounds good. It sounds sonic. It's just a fucking great Mötley Crüe song. And God damn it, I can't believe I forgot that one. Sorry.
Sonic is a good word.
Yeah,
I think they had a compilation album, something Supersonic and Demonic Relics or something. I forget what it was.
I got so many goofy greatest hits and shit.
Yeah, they really capitalized.
I got really sick of that. I was like,
yeah, they got too much. They're kind of like Kiss.
That other one, then they got Red, White, and Crüe, and Jesus Christ, that's all they did is come out with fucking greatest hits album for a little while there.
But at least their bonus song was a good song. Now they can't even put out an album.
I know. But anyways, great fucking pick.
Good.
God damn.
Good pick. Good pick.
Really good. Oh, it just hurts myself.
Well, you're not done talking. You could bump
one
off your list.
I'm sticking with my list.
No, it's good. We got to talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you for picking that. That was a great pick.
So my number 2, right? It's my turn.
Yep.
Is off their first album. And this is where I got Livewire. We've already talked about it a little bit. But if you listen to Mötley Crüe chronologically, this is the first song you're going to hear. If you just say, all right, I'm gonna give me the whole Mötley Crüe catalog, and we'll just start right here. And it's a goddamn good place to start.
It is.
I feel like it sets the tone for what they are about to become. Staple of the live show, like he said. Plug me in, I'm alive tonight, out on the streets again. Turn me on, I'm too hot to stop, something you'll never forget. Take my fist, break down walls, I'm on top tonight. Oh no, you better turn me loose, you better set me free, because I'm hot, young, running free, a little bit better than it used to be. Or a little bit better than I used to be. Love it. So that's my number 2, Livewire. Have you had this in your list yet?
I haven't.
And I just probably ruined something. But anyway.
No, yeah. You didn't. It was my honorable mention. I love that song, but I picked 2 off that one already.
Oh, yeah.
Showing Starry Eyes.
So, okay. All right. Your number 2 then, Chad.
My number 2 is off the 94 album. And I was telling you a little bit about this song earlier. I didn't know what this song was about until I was doing this yesterday. I just kind of sang along with it and didn't think much about the lyrics, but it's really kind of a creepy, sicky song. But it's fucking excellent. The words, it's Uncle Jack.
Yeah.
It's about this uncle's a motherfucker. He's a bad dude. He's an incestuous. He's diddling his little.
That's his real uncle. He's talking about it. That really happened to him.
No shit.
Yeah, because it was in his book.
I didn't
grab his book.
Okay, so I'm going to read you some of the words of this. It's pretty bad. Are you ready for some of it's good because like this first couple lines are like the first 2 lines are fucking awesome. Are you ready for suicide? Let me run a razor across your throat. He's talking about his uncle. You took that child on a ride now, led them down a long and shameful road. It rips my heart out to see you living. You gave them money in exchange for pain. You're the monster in the closet. They'll take your secrets with them to their grave. Lock you away. This is a kind of pre-chorus before they go into the chorus. Is lock you away behind cast iron doors. I'd rather see you dead on the floor. I hope that you're feeling so much pain now. Uncle Jack, Can't you hear them still screaming? Broken hearts, broken dreams. Yeah, Uncle Jack, is your evil still creeping? Never coming back here again. And then I'm just gonna read the last thing because it's but no, and there's more. But God, it's just
Oh yeah.
if you hear the song, and we talked about this on with Hair Metal Guru. Jeremy and I were talking about how sonic the drums sound in this, right? And they do. It's just amazing how big and booming this album sounds. And if you hear this, it's down, 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 and the drums are just huge, and it just, oh, just love this song.
Huh.
It's really. I didn't know this was a true story. I never read John Crosby's book, but that makes me want to read it because I really, really like him and I like the way he writes. You listen to the Scream, right?
Yeah.
Like
Scream's awesome.
Father, Mother, Son song.
Yeah.
God, is that good? You know, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff, but I mean, that song just grabs
It's
your
a little
heartstrings.
misty.
Yeah. So that is my pick for number 2. I can't say enough about this album, and I know we've talked to it. That we're blue in the face, and I'm just gonna say, give it a try, give it a listen, because it's really good, and the words are good, and the music's good.
Just listening to you talk about that song makes me want to go back and give it another shot. But I am in the camp of it's not
Just-
Mötley Crüe. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna give you this bit of advice: just don't think of it as Mötley Crüe. Just
Yeah.
think of it as a good fucking rockin' album, and just listen to it. It's fucking good. I mean, there's a couple songs I'm not crazy about, but
Okay.
overall, it is really, really good.
Well, I'll give it another go.
Do it. Just do
And
it.
Tom
I wish you would.
and Tommy's drumming
Is
is
amazing.
incredible.
By far the best he's ever done on an album.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Bob, they like I said, all the musicianship on that album's really good. Having 2 guitars don't hurt it none either.
Yeah.
Because it gets such a thick sound.
Yeah, this Jeremy that's on with Hair Guru all the time, he's a drummer. And he talked about this, and I didn't know this. He said he went from a 20-inch bass drum to a 22-inch bass drum, which is why he got that big sound. And he goes, I've been trying to capture that sound for years. And I don't know why he doesn't do it on every album. They sound so good. You know, I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he did. I don't
Well, see, and
That's the only one that I can think of that just sounds that huge. The mix, I don't know what it is about the mix, but the drums just sound huge, and it's amazing.
well, Lars has always claimed that the reason why they got Bob Rock to do the Black Album was because of the sound Bob Rock got off Dr. Feelgood, especially with the drums and stuff, how big they sounded.
Oh man, yeah, it makes sense because I mean the Black Album's very kind of big sounding as well.
Yeah.
I still think this one's bigger sounding. I mean, this is as far as that big sound like that. This is the only album I can think of off the top of my head that has that just has those drums that just baffle your mind when you hear it. And it's just the way he drums on this album is amazing. So, yeah.
Well, with all that, we're ready for number 1.
Number one.
All right, and this number 1, off Girls, hands down, probably I think the best song Nikki Sixx ever wrote is Wild Side.
Okay. Yeah, that's
when you was talking about some people say it's overplayed, it couldn't be more overplayed than Girls was.
No.
Girls was, well, I don't know what it should. I should have put that down now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I
Wouldn't be
love
hard.
that song. That's your number 1. That's a good pick at number 1. I think in the comments, whoever's watching our episode on Mötley Crüe, I'd love to hear what you guys
Other
think of
people
our
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1. I mean, it could be, and when I get to mine, I'm gonna say something about it too. That, but basically, you could have 10 different songs if there was 10 of us on this episode. You know,
Right.
there's three of us. We're probably going to have, I'm going to think we might have three different songs.
I'm pretty sure we do.
I don't have
After
that
hearing
one.
his?
Yep.
Yep. I
Okay.
don't think you have the same one as me either.
Okay.
I'm guessing. But anyways, Girls, 311 million streams. Wild Side, 141 million.
So
It's number 6 on the list.
less
compared
than
to number
half
2. Yep.
of the streams.
Yep. So, you know what's number 7, which surprises me? Livewire.
Huh. Yeah, that does kind of surprise me too.
Yeah. It's Overlooks the Kill, Same Old Situation. All kinds of good ones.
Hopper's number 1 is Wild Side. You got anything more to say about that song?
Now we're good.
Okay. My number 1 is Looks That Kill. This isn't always going to be my number 1 song, but when I made this list, it was. What I mean is we could do the show again in a year, and I think it'll always make my top 10 songs, but on any given day, I might pick a different song at number 1. There's a lot to this one. The song, the gang vocals again, mix. I use the word crunchy riffs, Tommy's driving drums, and a young Vince when he was kicking ass. Like, fuck, there's even a gong in their song, you know?
Yeah. I was telling you this before. Before we started shooting, I said this is the best Vince's voice has ever sounded.
Yeah.
It sounds a little more, it's got a little more rasp to it, a little more grit to it. And it's just got a little cleaner and a little wimpier as it went along. So I think he's at the peak on, that's a pretty early peak, but I think that his voice sounds the best on this album.
Yeah.
The best, the most rockin', shall we say. So.
All right. And drum roll for Chad's number
My
1.
number 1 song, and this will not change. I just love this song.
This is your number 1 today, and it's always going to be your number 1, basically. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, unless they surprise me with something goofy.
Oh, I don't
but
think
and I know that's not going to happen
Probably not.
after the last show. It is too young to fall in love off of Shout the Devil.
Nice.
I love the beginning. I like the drum beginning. It just sounds good. I love the lyrics. It's not a whole lot of lyrics that are. You say our love is like dynamite. Open your eyes. It's like fire and ice. Well, you're killing me. Your love's a guillotine. Why don't you just set me free? Too young to fall in love. And it's just got a, all the songs that Shout at the Devil, and we've kind of discussed this too. It's kind of gang vocal. That's what they did. They just repeated the song title over and over. But that's what a lot of bands did back then. You didn't have, you had a lot of bands that kind of just shouted their chorus, and they did it better than anybody. And I just absolutely love this song. I love the riff. I learned how to play that on guitar. It's fun to play, and it's just a fucking good tune. I love it. And Shout at the Devil's still going to be my number 1 album.
Yeah. Good
From
pick.
Mötley Crüe, and I could have picked 4 more songs. I could have picked Look to Kill, but Jout I should have had on there. I should have had.
So now we're honorable mentioning it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Off that album alone, I could have had that. I could have Knock 'em Dead Kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Knock 'em Dead Kid. Oh my God, I could have had so many. But it's just a great, great album. Like we talk about these albums that are just, you got your AC/DC Back in Black, your Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction, Metallica Black Album, stuff like that. That just is just. It's going to be a classic forever.
Iconic, yeah.
Iconic. It's Shout at the Devil's iconic. It's just one of those albums that you almost have to have in your collection if you're a fan of this kind of music.
Or any kind of music almost.
Yeah. It's just that good. I don't have all those songs in my honorable mentions. I have Livewire, Knock 'em Dead Kid, Shout at the Devil, Girls, Hooligans, Holiday. We can go on and on. And I could have 20 honorable mentions.
I picked 5 honorables, and I think every one of these were, well, maybe not, was on somebody's list, but Kickstart My Heart, of course,
Yeah.
hard to say that, or hard to say why I didn't pick it for real, but
Yeah.
Piece of Your Action.
Mhm.
You said this one already, Knock 'em Dead Kid. I love it. 10 Seconds to Love was on your list. Love that tune. And then my last honorable, which I can't believe it didn't make my list, and it's your number 1, right? Too Young to Fall in Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So
You got some honorables, Hopper?
any that just kind of.
Well, yeah, because I had a top 12. I put All in the Name of, especially watching them play that at Moscow Peace Festival, just because I think that's what they opened up their set with. Matter of fact, and then I got Red Hot, another Shout the Devil song.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. That drums at the beginning.
Yeah,
I love it.
really showcases how good of a drummer Tommy is. Tommy's phenomenal on the drums.
He's not super tech. You know, he's not like a guy from Slipknot or whatever. He's not like that. But he is just in the pocket. He hits hard. That's the thing I like about him is he fucking drums hard.
He wails on those fuckers.
He just wails on them. He I bet you his goddamn drumsticks have got to be twice as big as anybody else's because otherwise he'd break the fuckers.
Yeah.
He's fucking hitting logs up there. But the other one I forgot about, which you had as your number 2, is Primal Scream, and I just love that song and can't say enough about it.
Well, awesome. Let's wrap it up then. Thanks for being on our show again.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one more thing I want to
Okay,
talk
sorry.
about.
Yeah.
Do it.
Cool. We was talking. We done the Rat show earlier. We was talking about comparing Rat to Mötley, and how we thought Rat had the better catalog, but I always think Mötley had the better songs. They had the bigger hits.
They did have bigger hits. That's for sure. 100% for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're better songs. I don't know if I'd go that far, but they did better. They performed better,
Yeah.
but I don't know that they're actually better songs because Rat has a bunch of really, really good, tasty songs.
Yeah.
These songs. No, that's a good way to put it for sure, though. I know exactly what you're saying when you say that.
I mean, you put them side by side, they're pretty fucking equal in my book as far as.
Yeah. Well, and something you said too earlier when you were talking about when oddly, Metallica and up through and Justice for All or whatever, or Black Album, they were kind of our band.
Yeah.
And now they're everybody's. Well, and maybe that's why, like I always say, Rat's my favorite. But maybe it's because they're mine and there's.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
They didn't really make it to.
They didn't get their Dr. Feelgood
status of they're everybody's band.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, they're more of a deeper pick.
Yeah.
Well, and I think a big part of it too. I swear by this. I used to didn't think. I always thought Nicky was being selfish, saying my band, but literally he is the driving force.
Oh,
and I think that is a good part of it too. He keeps everybody in line, tells them what they're going to do, what they're not going to do, and they let him have control.
Yep, and it is his band.
Yeah.
And he runs it good. He's a very good businessman. They've done very fucking well. I'm surprised they sold their catalog, but they got a fucking boatload of money. They're laughing all over the bank. But sold their catalog. That's now you don't have nothing. To me,
well, how he got it back was amazing too. I mean, nobody knows.
It was
unheard of that you could get. No, this was like back in.
Oh yeah.
When he got it the first time before he sold it.
Yeah.
It's like it's so hush hush, but they said that was unheard of. For somebody to get their catalog.
Right. Yeah, because the record company pretty much bones all those guys, and basically you sign a contract and all the fucking masters are theirs.
Yeah.
You don't actually own it. You write out and do everything, but you don't own the goddamn thing, and which is a goddamn joke. And I hate.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I hate the music business for that reason. I've never dealt with the music business, but just the stories and stuff that you hear of how they treated these artists, and they're the fucking creators. They're the ones that did this shit. You're just putting some money behind it, and then you're going to make a boatload of money if you hit the fucking lottery.
Yeah.
So, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But
that was actually well timed.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was for the record company. But anyways, yeah. Mötley Crüe, you can't say enough about them. They're going to go down in history as one of the best, and they deserve it. They've done their time. They've managed their selves well. Yeah, you can say what you want. They don't know their songs, but their fucking shows still sell out. They're not going to sell it by me, but
yeah.
But I mean, they still do. So that's kudos to them.
All right.
But don't be talking about how bad they sound and go to the show because you're not proving nothing really.
No, I like we were discussing earlier, if they come out with new music, I'll test it out on Apple or wherever and listen to it. But I don't foresee myself ever seeing. I've seen my last Mötley show.
Same here.
I probably won't. I didn't. We had tickets to the fair here, and we didn't end up going because I think my back was all fucked up or something.
Yeah, they come again. I'm going, but and I think for me, it's always I'm just holding out hope. Come on, please be good. Please be better. Please. God, I hope Vince is skinny again.
They always put on a decent show, but they sound kind of, Vince's voice.
The show that I just went to over the summer at this fair was good.
Yeah, I mean they do. I mean they put on. I tried to go. I tried to go to their last big thing with Def Leppard and all that shit, and I didn't make it to them because I had a fucking racing heart and had to because I'm old and fucking out of shape and shit. And I only got to see the first two, Joan Jett and Poison.
Yeah,
and Poison knocked it out of the fucking park.
Yeah,
they're so good live. But anyways, that is our Mötley Crüe Top 10 with our guest Hopper from Hop's Metal Show on YouTube. Check him out. He was kind enough to grace us with his presence. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell whoever you want. We're on all the things. If you want to see us, we're on YouTube. If you want to just listen to us, we're on all the freaking podcasts you can think of, podcast show thingies. So with that, you got anything?
I don't. Hopper, do you have anything more?
Just want to thank y'all again for having me on your show. Awesome. I had a great time.
Hey,
talk about this stuff all the time.
We'll definitely do this again. We'll Hopper will be a guest again, and we'll maybe get on his show or we'll do something. But the trio will be back together again at some point.
Yeah.
So cool. Stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed the show. And with that, see you later. Thanks for watching.
Later.
Yep, bye. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed our content. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We'd greatly appreciate it. Links to everything we discussed will be included in episode notes. Feel free to check those out as well. Until next time, stay golden, Pony Boy, and rock on.